I just wanted to interject really quick here and say that this boss had increased life modifier, and he was an empowered boss in a level 80 map. And I'm using Hand of Chayula to temporal chains curse him and mark him with a freezing mark for increased freeze. And you can see that, like, even though he's a little bit tanky and it takes a little bit to get him down, we freeze him twice, like right away, basically, and he can't even move. And that's kind of how all the bosses go. So here you can see I'm cursed with temporal chains, so my character is very slow. There is a breach, I'm getting kind of swarmed, and then I accidentally even just run into the map boss, and it doesn't even matter. Like, I barely take any damage, they all kind of just get shattered, and it's no problem. Alright, so this unique, the price of it is 1 alchemy orb. It's a pretty easy farm on Zesht, and I really do think it kind of goes under the radar a bit. You get some really nice defensive and offensive capability with this that at first glance it just doesn't seem like this would be worth your time at all. And like a mega sweet rare with melee skills and global defenses and all that would be a better option, and I think probably on the very high end it is. But this is really strong, actually, for how cheap this is. And what's cool about it is, since you are just penetrating so much cold resistance, you can just go all in on cold for all your pieces of gear, and it really frees up your gear slots. You don't need triple flat damage on your gloves and, high rolls of fire and lightning on your quarterstaff and stuff like that. You just need cold and physical on everything. So check this out. It has 75 cold penetration. If you put cold modifiers, though, it will increase your cold resistance and it will increase the damage penetration. And I corrupted mine and so I have 97% cold penetration. And before I corrupted it, I made sure to put the cold modifiers on, and then I allocated Thin Ice, which is 20% freeze buildup, 50% increased damage with hits against frozen enemies, and we freeze everything instantly. So that's really good. So our tooltip for Ice Strike saying 130k DPS. The other nice thing about going all in on ice damage, so like what I mean is flat physical on the gloves, flat cold on the gloves. Flat physical, flat cold, and increased cold on both rings. We have flat cold with runes for flat cold, gain as extra cold, desecrated for increased cold and freeze on this, and we have attack speed, onslaught, 6 to level of all skills. So what's nice about going all cold is then you can use cold attunement because you have no fire and lightning damage. So putting cold attunement on Ice Strike, on Shattering Palm, on Tempest Bell, I put it even on Wind Dancer. So lots of cold damage that we're scaling. And there's a lot of hidden DPS on this. So it says 130k DPS here for Ice Strike, but that's not including the Rage rebuild, not including close combat. So this item says chance to blind chilled enemies. We chill everything. So take a look here. There's hidden damage. We've got 55% increased damage against blinded enemies. Remember, we blind everything. 30% increased damage against chilled enemies. We chill everything. 50% increased damage against frozen. We freeze everything. And then another 55% increased damage against dazed enemies, and we daze everything. So 55 here, 55 here, and 80 there. Increased damage that is not being shown on this tooltip here. So Amazon is really nice for this because you do so much elemental. You can get this Mystic Harvest for Life Leech based on elemental, and then take this Walker of the Wilds for Mana Leech based on elemental, and you're good. You are very tanky. By increasing your evasion to a pretty high percentage, mine's 62%, and then using Wind Dancer and Ghost Dance, we replenish 1100 energy shield. So the very, very high end of this build, you would actually use a pure energy shield armor with pure evasion helmet, gloves, and boots. And then you could get even higher by taking Stalking Panther. But that's the very, very high end. This is so budget. I'm telling you, because Lightning Arrow was so meta, cold damage kind of went on the back burner, but cold damage is still incredible. Blinding everything and freezing everything, nobody can hit you when you're an evasion build. It's really nice. And, if you notice, look at my boots here. There's no crazy runes or the increased effective sockets. Same with the gloves. No increased effective sockets. I just have dual leech so that I can leech with my Amazon and attack speed. The armor is an evasion energy shield. I tried the skin replacement for this with the Sacramento robe because it just kind of looked cooler than the sleek jacket. But this is budget too. 35 spirit, reduced attribute, 31 dex. Those are all dead mods essentially. The 35 spirit's nice, but it's just a low roll. So I'm just saying you can get this up and running for very little. On swap, I just have a bow, and that's just so I can do this with escape shot, and that freezes really good. You don't need that. You could just use Wave of Frost if you really needed to freeze instantly, but I just like using it. It helps you get out of trouble if you are in trouble. So, and then we have Hand of Chayula just for the bosses, and we hit them with Freezing Mark and Temporal Chains. Herald of Ice, of course. Frost Bomb for exposure. Bell, Shattering Palm, Ice Strike. Yep. So with Druid coming, I don't anticipate that anybody's going to really want to play anything else besides a Druid, me included. But as an alt character that is reliable and easy to gear, I might start a second character next league and go all this ice damage and everything with that really cheap unique. I might do that in case I hit a wall or something, with Druid. We'll see how it all turns out, and we'll see what they do for the end game with patch 0.4. But I'm kind of getting hyped for it, to be honest. I know we don't know anything yet, but I am starting to feel like if Druid's coming, this could be really cool. Maybe we'll get another weapon class. That would be nice. All right, dudes. Take care, and hope you like the build and how budget everything is for this. Yeah, so hopefully everything stays cheap next league for this kind of setup if you want to do it. I think it might, but anyway, that's it. I'm looking forward to it. Pretty hyped. Talk to you later.